Hey guys, Lindsay here, and today we're going to be looking at another album from the vault of Tom Petty. This time an album from Tom Petty and his seminal band, of course, as he's known for being with his backing band, The Heartbreakers. And this is their 6th album, I believe, released in 1985, and this is Southern Accents, and this has got quite the tale. So, of course, I got it here on the 180G vinyl when they remastered and released them quite a few years ago now. I want to say 2013, but I'm never sure. And then here is, of course, the normal standard remastered CD. So, the Southern Accents, as I said, released in 1985, was originally by Tom and the Heartbreakers, set out to be an album, a concept album of sorts, or more of a themed album on life in the South, growing up in the South and such. However, Tom even admits himself that as songs progressed and evolved, as they do, and as the album sort of evolved, it no longer became an album that was so much fixated on the South and became a sort of mishmash, really, which some fans don't like, but I personally love. But I still think it definitely is an album that's got a Southern tinge. I mean, just look at the cover. The cover's got this great painting. I forget who it was by, but I believe it's called something like The Farmer, or The Farmer in His Field. But clearly depicting a sort of typical scene that one might see in the South, for example. Of course, Southern Accents. Of course, it's all surrounded in this kind of colour, which is clearly meant to resemble, you know, wood from a barn or hay or something like that. Here's the back, which has got an excellent cover. As well, excellent image of the band. So we've got drummer Stan Lynch, vocalist and guitarist Tom Petty, keyboardist, multi-instrumentalist really Ben Montench. It's actually his birthday, I think yesterday, or the day before, was happy birthday Ben. I believe bassist and backing vocalist Howie or Howard Epstein, and then guitarist Mike Campbell. On the right then, of course, this is them in a barn, very much like something you might see out of Mice and Men, definitely a southern kind of setting. Along the top we have the track listing, as well as the credits of production and such, which songs were produced by who. And so yeah, so without further ado, let's open up the vinyl. This is obviously more of a review of the album itself, however we are going to look at the different releases. So if we open it up, we are greeted with actually two things. Give us a sec. As with, I think a few, not all of them actually, but a few of the Tom Petty releases on vinyl, we have the vinyl record itself come in this standard white sleeve. So it's got the standard MCA Records label there, but it also comes with a sort of themed of sorts record sleeve as well. I saw this with Full Moon Fever, and I've seen this with, I believe, either Long After Dark or Into the Great Wide Open, but one of them didn't have one. But obviously it's got several different stills from quite an older camera of all the members of the band. Of course, Harry or Howard Epstein on the left there, Ben Montench, Tom Petty, Mike Campbell and Stan Lynch. And on the back we've got the logo, the standard Heartbreaker logo here with the Flying V guitar, as well as the lyrics to all the songs: Rebels Ain't Nothing to Me, Don't Come Around Here No More, Southern Accents, Make It Better, Forget About Me, Spike, Dogs on the Run, Mary's New Car, The Best of Everything. And it's really cool to see this. I really like the fact that the band, all the people behind remastering this album, decided to give it its own sleeve, so you can keep the vinyl record in there or in its own sleeve. At the moment I just keep them separate like that. And then of course this is the back. They've just normal MCA Tom Petty logos. They have, of course, the track listing on there. So yeah, that's the vinyl. The CD, you get the CD, of course, has the cover, and then on the back it's slightly formatted differently. It has the image on the top left, and then it has the track listing along the bottom like this. And then this is the side view. So it just says MCA, Tom Petty and Heartbreakers, Southern Accents. Open it up, and this is what we've got. So again, it keeps with that theme of the southern sort of look, the hay or the wood or something there. And then this is just the standard CD. This is just the standard CD you get off Amazon. It's potentially been remastered, I'm unsure, but either way, there's the album there. And then we'll just put this here. So What, of course, is the track listing for this album? Well, you have Rebels, which I think was I don't know if it's necessarily the lead single, but it was one of the biggest songs. It was definitely one of the big singles from it. At 5 minutes 20, it's a longer song than a lot of Tom's, and it's definitely a song that I think keys into the whole Southern vibe and the whole Southern theme. It tells the story of Tom and sort of his family and growing up, and how they were born to rebel. And he's got that real Southern drawl, which I think is excellent. It's just a really good song. It's a song that has fist punching. I believe he performed it when he was at the JFK Stadium, I believe, during Live Aid in 1985. I believe this is one of the 3 or 4 songs he played. And it's just a really great, strong opener, great rock song. Just from that opening drum sort of sound, it's just really good. Then we have It Ain't Nothing to Me, which is one of the odder songs. I think this and Make It Better, Forget About Me, I always sort of remember because they're quite funky actually. Ain't Nothing to Me. It's definitely quite a funky, quite groovy song, which I quite like. It's one of the more filler songs on the album, but it's still a good song, and it's probably not that sudden, but I still think it's good. And then of course, Don't Come Around Here No More. One of the first songs I think most people know when they think of Tom Petty. Sadly, the only song when I first listened to this album that I knew. Great song, just brilliant. Dave Stewart coming up with, I think, the inspiration for the title itself, I think from Stevie Nicks as well, and then playing the electric sitar in the intro, the Alice in Wonderland kooky music video. It's not particularly southern, but I still get a southern vibe from it, and it's amazing, and especially that last minute at the end where it sort of speeds up with the guitar kicking in even more. It's a really catchy song, and I think it's a great song. I think it's one of Tom Petty's and the Heartbreakers' best. Then number 4, Southern Accents. I actually like a lot of Tom's slower songs, and generally I prefer the faster songs when it comes to artists, but Southern Accents is definitely an exception, even within an exception. I just love Southern Accents. It's Tom at his rawest. It's such a Southern song, obviously. It's such a personal song of Tom's. He sings it so well. I just think it's a great title track, to be honest. Then, of course, we have Make It Better, Forget About Me, which again is another a funky song, and I think was actually a single. I think it got a music video at least, which is a very old music video, if I remember correctly. It's got Tom et al. In the brain or the mind of some woman. I don't know, it's a really odd music video, but again, it is quite a good song. It's definitely one of the more filler songs from it, but I still think it's a good song on the album, which I think goes to show how good an album it is, personally, for me. Even when, yes, sometimes the theme can be lost a little bit. Then we have Spike, definitely back to the southern theme. A song about, I think, just a guy in a dog collar that these guys in the bar sort of witness, and it's kind of their cynical point of view about this kid and I presume, I don't know, youth or the change of the future in general. It's a good song, but it's definitely an odd song. I think Tom liked to perform it live quite a bit. It had a really good live performance as well. This then bleeds into the next track, Dogs on the Run. What a song. Really should have been released as a single. I think sums up, from the sound and the lyrics, I think all of it just sums up Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. They are dogs on the run. It's got just a killer guitar in it. It's really good. Mike Campbell really excels himself on it, and it is just a really good song. That Mary's New Car, probably the maybe the least good on the album, I suppose. It's a really old song. Don't know if the Mary in question necessarily is the same Mary from Mary Jane's Last Dance. It's nice to sort of think that way. But yeah, it's an odd song, but it's not a bad song. I can still listen to it, for sure. But it's there's not much to say. It's just quite an odd song of Tom's, but it's not massively interesting in its own right, unfortunately. Then we have The Best of Everything. Just a great song, just a really good slow song about Tom sort of wishing this girl he once knew, everything, all the best of everything in life, and I think it's a really good, bittersweet, but definitely emphasis on the sweet sort of closer to the album. So there you go, 9 songs. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Southern Accents. What do I think about it? I think it's a really good album. I still kind of view it as definitely being a Southern album. I think at least half the songs or so, 4 or 5 of them, have definitely got a Southern vibe to it. Whether that's in the sound or in the nature of it or the actual songwriting itself. So I don't really agree with Tom and people that maybe don't like the album and sort of things, a bit of a mishmash. And even if it is, I think it's a collection of great songs. I mean, Rebels is a fantastic anthem. Southern Accents is a beautiful song, as is The Best of Everything. Dogs on the Run is a great song, and then just Tom and Khan. Don't Come Around Here No More is a great song, and even the other songs aren't bad at all. So this has really been definitely a praising review of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers Southern Accents. But of course, I'd be interested to think what you think of this album. And yeah, if you have any suggestions on what Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers album to review next. I don't have vinyl copies of every album. I have I have all of his CDs except Let Me Up About Enough and Hypnotic Eye and The Last DJ. Other than that, I think I've got all of his studio albums, solo and with the Heartbreakers. So let me know in the comments if there's any kind of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers or just Tom Petty solo album you'd like me to review next. I've already done Long After Dark and his seminal solo debut, Full Moon Fever. But yeah, Southern Accents to me, if I had to give it a rating, would probably be an 8 or 9 out of 10. It's supposed to be one of my favourites of his. I think it's a really great album. And yeah, I just think it's really good, and I really had to get this on vinyl because it looks awesome, it feels awesome, and it's great to listen to. So this has been Lindsay Young with a review of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers' 1985 6th album of the Heartbreakers Southern Accents. It's really good. Give it a listen if you like rock or a bit of country, bit of funk. You like things about the South. Yeah, and I'll see you next time. Lindsay out.